Classification. The animal kingdom can be divided into two parts, vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates have a backbone, invertebrates don't have one. Vertebrates are usually the cute ones. Let's focus on them. Vertebrates can be divided into mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, and amphibians. These 5 types can then be divided into warm-blooded and cold-blooded animals. The differences between these types are quite obvious, but important to know for the artists is that they all share the same bone structure. You should use the same bone structure when designing realistic earthly creatures. 2. Defining animal features through comparing. What are the distinct features of certain animals and how do you learn to find them? We find them through comparing, because comparing gives us definition. For example, let's compare the main features of a bear and an elephant by comparing them. They are both mammals. But the bear is more oval-shaped with a pointy head, while the elephant fits neatly into a rectangle and has a big forehead with a head shape that goes straight down and then upwards into a curl. Also, the bear has round muzzles while the elephant has flat muzzles. Now let's compare their skeletons. The first thing we notice is that the elephant has straighter and thicker bones. This is to support the elephant's weight. If the elephant had curved bones like the bear, they'd snap. Also, the elephant's shoulder blades are very huge and they have a straight back. The bear is more flexible with a sloping back and very curved upper arms. They both have necks that start at a low base at the shoulders, especially the elephant, giving them a short neck. Now let's pinpoint some of these features in real images. As you can see, this baby elephant has a very apparent straight back and a forehead that is very big. Also, the head shape goes down and into a curl. This grown-up elephant also has a straight back, even though a bit less apparent, and a very obvious curled head. You can also clearly see the straight, thick legs of the elephant. And again, he fits perfectly into a square. Now, let's look at this adult bear. He has a flexible back that slopes down and a pointy head. Also very apparent and important are those bended upper arms. And of course the round muscles that really define the bear and gives him that look. Now, this bear standing up has, as you can see, again, those bended upper arms and also a small forehead compared to the elephant. And again, we have those round muscles. This was just one example of comparing 2 types of animals to gain knowledge about their features and how to define them. I recommend everyone who is watching this video to do these little comparisons of as many animals as you can, be it mammal to mammal or mammal to fish. It can be anything. You can also pause this video at any time and see if you can find differences and similarities in the designs of the animals displayed. 3. Functionality. They can be divided into ability and usability. Ability is the function the animal naturally has in the wild, while usability is a function we humans have given them. So, for ability we have, for instance, flight, digging, running, mimicking, strength, jumping, etc, etc. The list goes on and on. For usability we have companionship, food, security, labor, medicine, etc. Let's look at a few interesting ones and see how it is expressed through their design. Let's start with abilities. For abilities I chose flight, jumping, running, and swimming. Let's start with flight. Flight is often expressed through feathered wings, bat wings, or even wings made out of fur-coated skin. Important to know is that to make flight possible, the animal must have thin bones and wings with a big surface to carry the animal through the air. Jumping and running are quite similar to each other. They are expressed through long legs and very muscular thighs, which help to push them off the ground when running or jumping. Swimming is expressed through fins and slippers. The fins can go from full surface to thin to push the animal forward in the water, and when thin, it will glide through the water. Flippers act similarly due to the skin between their toes. Let's look at the usabilities. I also chose 4: transportation, hunting, meal delivery, and wall. When we look at transportation, it is important to note that there always needs to be a comfortable spot for a human, be this a saddle, like we have on a camel, or a sled for the dogs. There also needs to be a way of communication in direction and speed. In this case, those are the reins. With animals used for hunting, there is an identification collar or ring at the very least. There can also be accessories or props that aid the hunt. With mail delivery animals, they are equipped comfortably with a package weighing no more than they can carry. Animals of war can look very diverse, but usually they are covered in armor and decoration that usually corresponds with the culture they fight for. I advise everyone to research all the abilities and usabilities animals have and how it is expressed through their design. You can do this by simply researching it and drawing it for yourself. This won't only help you come up with correct and realistic creature designs, but will also inspire you to be creative and find connections between certain natural abilities and human abilities. You can pause this video anytime to study some of the ones that I drew. 4. Creature design. Now in this last part I will give you a simple example of a creature I made using the information and advice of this video. What did we learn in this course? 1. How to classify animals. 2. How to define animal features through comparing. 3. How animal functionality can be expressed through ability and usability. Now this is the character I made. First of all, I kept the design quite simple for the sake of the video. It's an ape-type creature with the size of a rhino that lives in a cold climate. He's very strong, but calm of nature aside from the occasional outburst. So before I drew the final design of this character, there were a few important points I wanted to write down. First, I decided what class he belonged to and what animals I will use as inspiration. I chose mammals and we're going to use 3 monkey types as inspiration, which I sketched out at the side. After that, I decided what features of these animals I wanted to use. So I really wanted to have these muscled arms that the gorilla has and a sloping back, and also the fluffy coat of the Japanese macaque. Also because he's very big, I used some inspiration from the rhinos and other big animals' anatomy. So I gave him straight, thick bones and a small face. Ability and usability. I made him a natural strong climber and good at camouflage, so I gave him thick muscles and an all-white fur to hide in the snow and wait for his prey. As for usability, I kept it simple. Transportation while harvesting for rare products in difficult terrain. This was the end of the course. Thank you for staying until now. I hope you found this course useful, and I would be delighted to see some of the creature designs you guys made using the information and advice of this video. If you'd like personal feedback on that creature design, you can just ask so in the comments and I will contact you from there. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe for more art tutorials in the future.